Here we go. Florida is hitting the headlines once again with some controversial news regarding Florida education system. Some will argue that Florida education system is a failure to every single American, while others will argue that Florida is the standard of what should be taught in America. And when I say others will argue, I mean the Republicans. Ron DeSantis is running to be the leader of this not-so-free country known as America, and his key focal point on his campaign is to destroy anything that is deemed woke. He has been in the headlines ever since the Dems started to notice that he may be the Republican alternate if the reality TV superstar goes to jail for the numerous lawsuits and accusations that keep piling up against him. But the serial tan booth user Donald Trump has something on his resume others don't, being bulletproof. But can we say the same for Ron DeSantis? First, it was the Don't Say Gay bill that lacked any gay substance in it. Then it was the Stop Woke Act, which prohibited any teaching that could make students feel they bear personal responsibility, guilt, anguish, or other forms of psychological distress on them. Can you believe that? Even though they weren't around during that time, and neither were their parents or their grandparents or their great-grandparents and possibly their great-great-grandparents, they should still be able to imagine the power they hold over black people and understand they have privilege for lacking melanin. And thus, they are responsible for the hurt they have caused black people in America. Shame on you, Ron DeSantis, for stopping this ridiculousness. So with that being said, let me have the other Ron express my current feelings.
Hey, you Nazi pig.
And then there was the AP African American Studies that got the axe for having too much gayness inserted into this program that included black queer theory. Why are we hiding the fact that there is definitely, and I mean definitely, some sexual tension between Malcolm X and MLK? Love is love. That was enough controversy for the Ron. Florida once again made headlines for the new approved set of standards for how black history is to be taught in social studies from K through 12, which includes, wait for it, how enslaved black people personally benefited from slavery. Let's allow our prestigious first blackface Indian vice president tell you how it really is.
They insult us in an attempt to gaslight us, and we will not stand for it.
That's right. Damn you, Ron DeSantis.
It's not his decision.
What do you mean it wasn't Ron? Wait, this is his state. It doesn't matter.
He's just the governor. Didn't write the new curriculum.
Hold on, y'all. Sorry. The 216-page social studies curriculum had nothing to do with Ron DeSantis besides the fact that he is the governor and he is the one who appoints the members on the Florida State Board of Education. But that doesn't matter for the news outlets to insert the evil Ron into the discussion.
I can tell you what has zero educational value, and that's lies. Okay, telling people that the enslaved developed skills which in some instances could be applied for their personal benefit is a white devil damned lie.
But what has taken over the social media and ignorant platforms that's chosen to never read beyond the headlines has caused some serious predicament, because it's becoming more and more clear that this country is losing brain cells by educating ourselves without, well, educating ourselves.
At the door! Screaming at the door!
Like many liberal outlets that have an agenda similar to conservative outlets, it's become clearer and clearer that this is harder to get in unbiased reports on hot topics. For every news outlet that presents unbiased news with little opinion like the Breaking Points, you get 10 other outlets that are like Young Turks or Fox News that lean heavy towards their base, but like the great Denzel Washington once said,
"If you don't read the newspaper, you're uninformed. If you do read it, you're misinformed."
So what do you do?
That's the great question.
So what is the truth? Well, let's get the direct statement from the members of the Florida African American History Standard Working Group that participated in writing this curriculum. It was 13 members, but only specifically 2 of them have come to the forefront because they said they are the ones who mostly worked on this. And these 2 people also happen to be, sorry, that was the liberal in me. I was gonna say white, but they were black. They were definitely black.
The idea that you should not speak of people making whatever utilities they could in the circumstances in which they found themselves to their own use and benefit is dehumanizing. You might as well say they aren't capable of doing anything, because that's what you end up saying. You're saying slavery is so complete, so thorough, that no person held in slavery retains his or her humanity. Well, these curriculum standards can't say a thing like that. And I would hope that no one in Florida would want them to say a thing like that.
So we are here now, stuck in a situation of either using critical thinking or using our emotions to drive our opinions on the Florida education system that has become the nation's issue because the governor is trying to be the nation's leader.
How can it be for your personal benefit when you're treated as an enslaved person? It's not like, oh, I'm a blacksmith. Okay, I'm gonna put a shingle out there. I'm gonna be a blacksmith. You were owned.
You will continue to see both sides argue these issues with lawsuits that are likely to ensue and go nowhere. Ultimately, there are some issues in this 216-page document that has a clear agenda to instill pride of being an American while trying to uplift the history in what some people call whitewashing by minimizing the horrors of American history, which is filled with violence and torture, but at the same time trying to show how America has progressed and has come a long way from its past. While the other side wants to keep reminding you over and over that violence and cruelty has led minorities to struggle throughout history, and even up to today, they want you to be a victim with the blame to be placed on America and white people. To be fair, there are some truths and misinformation from both sides. I once read a quote that said, "Be an arrow and not a boomerang." And in today's weak-minded culture, it's become evident that we have allowed the past poison to continue to poison us today. And as long as people continue to lose the ability to critically think, debate, and have positive disagreements, we will continue to live in a perpetual cycle of division, hate, and ignorance. And although many black people hate individuals like Larry Elder, Candace Owens, Thomas Sowell, Booker T. Washington, and Tim Scott, you should listen to their message because they are hell-bent on instilling the thought that one should not be defined on their future by the past because the past can only hold you back. And if I got you on board with what I am saying, you should definitely subscribe and possibly think about clicking that bell button to get notified every single time I drop a video, which is usually weekly. And if you are white, you should definitely subscribe because I'm black. And this is my form of reparations. Black Lives Matter. If you like this type of satirical, political, and pop culture commentary, be sure to check out this video right here where I discuss the LGBTQ insertion into schools and education system and how it's gone too far. Oh, and did I mention Florida education system approved PragerU as a vendor for approved sources of teaching materials? You can't make this shit up. Hypocrisy.